into implementation. And next, I also try to understand the perception of risks associated with the potential rewards starting a new business. I have understood that there is a risk. Most of them they feel that they are thinking by I'm going to be losing what I have kept in that. So risk of losing, and it also involves personal and professional stress. It involves reputation risk, loss of reputation, and it requires time commitment, need to face uncertainty like market fluctuations and financial risk. Taking all the risks into factor, they must be able to take the risks and go forward and set up their own enterprise and prove themselves and their skills and talents for their own development. So these risks they have to face in order to earn a good profit. Next, I try to understand what are the whether they are able to know what are the various organizations that are there in order to develop, in order to help them to start up an enterprise. There are so many organizations that are there for any entrepreneurs who want to start an enterprise. There are many organizations like the NIMSC, the Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Small Industry Development Bank of India. Like that, we have got so many organizations that are working for the development of the entrepreneurs. But the only thing is whether they are able to know all this about these entrepreneurs, how to reach these entrepreneurs. So as a teaching fraternity, it is our responsibility to make the students learn and know about various organizations that help them to incubate their idea and make their idea into a good product for a service. I want to, before closing this, because I just want to say that we as a faculty and social welfare college, we have students from the background. We are starting very innovative programs in our college level. We have started a program called Sabala Hub, where our students sell the products out of profits. They support the college. Like sustainability of the college. And we also have cooperating students from college run by the students. We had a band, student band in our college run by the students. So we try to show them how entrepreneurship can be taken up, what are the risks that are there. We are there to help them out if they are getting losses. So we are showing them how to go about the idea, how to procure resources and all in a practical way. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Next program is Dr. K. Kumar, DDC Culture.
Very warm good afternoon to everybody. Respect to the chair. My heartiest greetings and wishes to the organizers, particularly Principal Sir and the Department of Commerce and Management. See, I would like to focus on one important aspect that I titled the paper as failure capital. Of course, entrepreneurship it is very bold. At one point of time, one community was suffering for a period of time after industrial revolution. See, student arts, etc., have ventured into the entrepreneurship. Of course, and even after the Second World War, most of the countries have come up with the aspect of entrepreneur. The state itself is has become the entrepreneur. But over a period of time, since 1980 onwards, there have been a global changes across the globe. According to that, and at the same time, the introduction of LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization, there has been a lot of talk on entrepreneurship and startups. Of course, we have been experiencing as how the time the both the sides. There are success stories of their failures also there. So I would like to focus more on the failures also. Very recently, we have been experiencing the pandemic, the pandemic and the climate change really going to pose a lot of challenges to the entrepreneurship. So being an entrepreneur should be able to focus back what happens if the company would run into losses also. Have that notion if the entrepreneurship is commensurate, that's certainly going to fetch because the recent instances also after COVID-19, due to various changes also, so many employees have been thrown out from the company. Not only that, some of the entrepreneurs have lost, they have shut down also. So having this an experience, the entrepreneur should have to have a failure capital. If at all that is there, it is not as a surplus theory, it is quite entirely different. If they have to have a capital failure, I feel that that is going to patch, because an entrepreneur always should be a visionary, because the entrepreneur basically plays three important roles: as innovator, as organizer, a risk taker. So suppose you have fund on the name of the failure capital, certainly that was going to fetch the entrepreneurship, and not only that, the disastrous things on part of the employees will be saved. With these few remarks, I conclude. Thank you very much.
Now I call Gautami Shastri ma'am from Department of Commerce, Osmania University.
Good afternoon, everyone. My research paper title is A Study on the Performance of Pre- and Post-IPO of Unicorn Companies. So, what is unicorn? Unicorn is nothing but a private startup company whose value is more than $1 billion. And now in India, there is more than 1.5 unicorn. For my study, I have taken million unicorn. And the 5 companies are Nike, Paytm, Zomato, Policy, Bazaar, and Delivery. The objective of my study is it focuses on the different sectors of unicorn, and it measures the performance before IPO and after IPO. I've taken the analysis of financial statement and income statement, and the sources are from website, and the period of study is only for 5 years. So the first company is Zomato, and it is from food tech industry, and its entry valuation was $1 billion, but now its valuation is $5.3 billion, and it has been unicorn in the year 2018. And the second company is Paytm, and it is from e-commerce, and its entry valuation was $1.9 billion, but now its valuation is $20 billion, and its entry was, it got into unicorn in the year April 2018. Next is Policy Bazaar, and it is from finance insurance industry, and its entry valuation was $1 billion. Now its valuation is $2.4 billion, and it has went into unicorn in the year June 2018. Likewise, I have analyzed the company by taking the income statement and ratio, and the indicators I have used is total revenue, gross profit, operating income and expenses, pre-tax, net income, and EPS. What I have considered is that the Zomato performance for the last 5 years has improved at a yearly rate of 74.47% in terms of revenue, whereas the market share has increased from 4.61%, and going IPO has led the growth of the company, but it hasn't performed well in the year 2021 because of the COVID pandemic. Likewise, Paytm has also grown its revenue at a rate of 30.22%, whereas market share has increased from 11.44%, whereas the debt equity ratio was 7.1%. Even the Paytm has performed well, but in 2021, its performance was very low because of the same reason, that is COVID pandemic. Out of the 5 companies which I have taken, only the 90 companies the one which has been performing well even before IPO and after IPO. Next is Policy Bazaar. Its revenue has also increased, and debt equity ratio was 7.01%. Market share has increased from 1.98% to 5.66%. Its performance was going well, but can see some losses, so it is expected to have further more growth. Next is delivery performance, and over the last 4 years, revenue has been grown and performance is very low even before IPO and after IPO. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Anand Lakshmi ma'am from St. Joseph Degree and PG College.
Good afternoon, one and all. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries and my dear students and my dear colleagues. It is very privilege to interact with you regarding entrepreneurship. The time has been provided 3 minutes, but I have prepared much to convey to you because I am incubation center in charge and innovation in charge in my college. So before presenting a paper, I want to just invite you all, or I give my full support if you have strong idea. I am there to help you out with the help of Usmania University. I am very thankful to Usmania University with the help of OU collaboration. We have started incubation center for incubation autonomous college in our college. So students already the way you are clapping, I saw the same like you form a group and create one. Identify the problem is bothering. If you identify the correct problem, you will succeed in your entrepreneurship. So that is what I'm welcoming the students for your ideas, and I'm there to our college and with the college OU Center supporting all that. Now, before we are going to talk about the skill, that everything and all, orientation is important. My paper title is Orientation among the students in Indian colleges. Many of them are having on par the top level, this management, faculty, and the students. Only you know the entrepreneurship, but no one is having in-depth knowledge except 10% of the students. Where they have applied some interview methodology and also direct collection data from the students, commerce students, they are not having full awareness. That is the reason why they are not able to opt as an entrepreneurship career. According to my data, there is a positive correlation between entrepreneurship and attitude of the students among the degree colleges. And 75% of them are having not having awareness exactly what is entrepreneurship, what is a problem identification, how to identify the problem, and then what is the solution of the problem. And next one is they are having 100% fear that whether they succeed in their business or not. And major drawback is parental support. Parental support they are having, parents are not supporting them to go for entrepreneurship because lack of awareness among them. And many colleges management are not supporting. Only 10% of the college management are having full support of entrepreneurship because students will be given attendance relaxation and implementation of national innovation startup policies. Nowadays, it is very important in every college so that the students will come to know, faculty will come to know about the national innovation startup policy. So this is what I want to communicate students. And next one, 70% of the faculty are having knowledge, but not full knowledge how to apply funding, how to approach the venture capitalists, and 10% of the management are having positive support from the colleges towards entrepreneurship development to the students. This orientation is very, very important. This type of seminars and paper presentation by the students, if you search the data, then you come to know who are the successful paydays, many of them Infosys, eminent personalities, those who succeed in their business. So I wanted to tell you students, orientation is very important to the management, faculty, students, that all need successful entrepreneurship in our Indian economic system, and the economy also will be developed in this juncture. I will thank all dignitaries and all the students. You start generating idea and problem solving. Just you come, because I have attended Smart India hackathon, which is conducted by central government. We won the first runner cash over our project. I don't know entrepreneurship, I don't know innovation. Our management has given full support. One room separate was allocated in the incubation center. 36 hours long hackathon students. 36 hours non-stop. We are tuning the idea. Your experience, all the students I am requesting, or I am suggesting giving you attend hackathons, attend the competitions of entrepreneurship, then really you will get good awareness. So orientation is important according to my paper. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Next paper presenter is K. Srikanth.
Good afternoon, everyone. I extend my warm greetings to the dignitary panel, and I'm happy to see Professor Pat with you. And I wrote this paper where now Dr. Silva, who is my guide, and most of the faculty members and research scholars spoke about the innovations and independence, but nobody spoke about sustainability. And my paper really focused on sustainable development. Nobody spoke about scale, and and my paper focused on recently Indian Narendra Modi to give on COP26. He focused on 5 hectare island, Pancham bulk, and he gave us our India will achieve these 5 elements by 2050. And the first one is we will go to non-fossil fuel capacity of 500 gigawatts by 2030. And the second one is India will meet 50% of its energy requirement from renewable energy by 2030. Third one, India will reduce total projected carbon emissions by 1 million tons by 2030. Fourth one, by 2030, India will reduce the carbon intensity of the country by more than 45%. Fifth one, we will achieve by net zero emission and 27. What I personally believe, to achieve sustainable development, green entrepreneurs think eco-friendly. Nowadays, people are more concerned about they are more concerned about eco-friendly. So think eco-friendly to achieve sustainable development. As also our government is focusing on sustainable development. And in my research, I studied 5 case studies of green entrepreneurship. That is it's called us. They're producing electricity by using earth. By producing non-renewable energy, they reduce 20 lakh tons of carbon emission. And I suggest you to upcoming startup to think eco-friendly. Thank you for giving me the chance.
Thank you. The next representative will be Amit and Dr. B. Sandhya Rani, Fine University.
Good afternoon to one and all professors. I'm Amit from the Department of Commerce, Mani University. I'm here to present my paper on a study of the state of incubators in India, directed by me and my mentor, Dr. B. Sandhya Rani. Give a man a fish and he's feeding for a day. Teach a man to fish and he's feeding for life. Hopefully, quoted by Dal Prasad, capture the essence of business incubators. Business incubators to sum up in a single line is nothing but incubators aim to create of like-minded people and support the growth of entrepreneurial community. The study of my paper, the main objective of my paper, are to examine the geographical spread of incubators across India and zonal wise. At the same time, the objective also examines to study the distribution of incubators with special reference to southern India. Methodology, I have used single factor ANOVA to study. In the list of incubators, my study also revealed that Tamil Nadu has the highest number of incubators, followed by Karnataka. Coming on the least one, Puducherry has the least number of incubators, that is number 1. As my study focuses on zonal-wise segregation of the incubators, the South Zone has the highest number of incubators, followed and the least is Northeastern Zone. In the Southern Zone, as I already mentioned, Tamil Nadu leads the way in the number of incubators, followed by Karnataka, and the least number is Andaman and Nicobar. To test the significant difference, if there is significant difference between the geographical spread of incubators or not, the hypothesis was tested, and my p-value was more than 0.05. That simply satisfied that there is a significant difference between the mean value, that is, there is a significant difference in the spread of incubators in India. To sum up, this uneven spread of incubators could be due to various reasons, that is, either the literacy rate, the government policies that are there to support the incubators, the number of startups that are coming every day, that are getting registered in the states. With this, I can say that the kind of incubators right from the north to the south and east to the west is a evidence, is a proof that startups has no barriers and it can come from anywhere. Thank you.
Next paper presenter is Giriraj from Government City College.
Good afternoon to all. This is Giriraj of BA College. I'm presenting my professor's Mishwini ma'am's paper. Going to the topic, my topic is definition of entrepreneurship in the domestic goods production and its marketing. The domestic goods have been planned from the time of independence. Foreign market high quality product registered after the time from traditional moment. The demand gradually increased further. And the entrepreneurs have been using this of domestic goods production as a large scale option. The domestic goods production by entrepreneurs are not for handle size, overclock, or etc. And the production of domestic goods largely contributes to the goods. The domestic goods price have largely evolved from the last 2 decades. And I'm going to explain the space. Ceramic, pulses, and handle. Because lacking of time, I want to explain about what textile industry. The textile industry. The Indian textile industry is highly diversified, ranging from the traditional hand-woven sector to the capital-intensive build sector. The various strategies of large products based on commercial production include the mill sector, power and handle. Handle cloth production was the second largest, with a share of 17.4%. Total cloth registering 2.0% during FY 2007 to 2017. And as I experienced about the lots of courses, we went to a field picture, the Mosenpalli. There I observed the domestic goods, the sale is too less. They are requesting us to increase the domestic goods they produce in high prices. They are accepting that the domestic goods are marked as a low capacity goods. And I'm requesting government to increase the purchase of domestic goods and contribute to the production. Thank you.
I thank all the paper presenters of Technical Teaching Fund for presenting their paper. Now I invite Dr. Raj Sir, the Technical Teaching Fund rapporteur, to give a brief information or a brief report for the session.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Very happy to present the topic is because Technical Teaching One, titled Innovation and Incubation. The session has covered the things like the need is a model of innovation. Right, that the life features more than what the book does. The line experience about what we have done throughout this period, and I touched all aspects of the innovation and incubation, and I thank organizers for giving us this opportunity. Already we have very enough time. Now I request the organizers to our resource persons and this one. Thank you.
Next, I request Dr. K. Kumar, sir. Gopni Shastri. K. Srikanth. Gopni. B. Amit. Anant Lakshman.
Ma'am.
S. Giriraj.
When? Excellent.
Chairperson Jyotima.
It's time to propose order of council. On behalf of the Department of Commerce and Business Management, Government City College, we thank all the participants. We take the presence for Professor Parik sir, co-chairperson, Dr. Krishnan, and our resource president, and all the participants who for taking this difficult exam session. And please do join us to the line. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.
Camille. Now I would like to call the resource person, Mr. Rohit Anand, MTech and Design Community Manager. Please come on to the dais. We welcome you, sir. Now I invite Session Operator Dr. K. Mallikarjun Rao, sir, Assistant Professor of Commerce. Please come on to the dais. Now, I would like to introduce our chairperson, Professor Anand Pawar, Dean Faculty of Commerce, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Open University. Sir has received State Meteorologist Best Teacher Award in 2022 from the government of Telangana. Give him a big round of applause. He also obtained his PhD in marketing from Osmania University, Hyderabad. Sir has guided several doctoral and master's dissertations on various issues and topics at present. 11 research scholars' work are in progress. Sir published 13 books in contemporary HE, management, leadership, marketing, branding. In terms of research publication, he has published more than 90 research articles in various journals of international and national reputation. He visited foreign countries to share his expertise in the area of open and distance learning systems. Now, I would like to introduce the second resource person. It's my privilege to introduce co-chairperson, Dr. N. Puchya, Assistant Professor of Commerce, GDC. Third resource person, coming to this technical session, it's my pleasure to introduce the resource person, Mr. Rohit Anand, MTech Design Community Manager, Usmania Technology Business Incubating. Sir is responsible for the innovation, incubation, and entrepreneurship related activities at Usmania University Technology Business at initiative of OU Idea Labs Foundation. Registered as a Section 8 company with Honorable Vice Chancellor himself as the Managing Director. Prior to this, he was the operational coordinator at Atal Incubation Center, ELPI, New Delhi, funded by NITI Aayog, Government of India. Sir also worked as Makerspace Machinery Zone in charge at SR Innovation Exchange. Currently, he is serving as a community manager at Usmania Technology Business Incubator. His key responsibilities are building a partnership collaboration, community development, outreach promotion, and branding of OTDI, along with incubation program management. I welcome you all once again, sir. Now I request our chairperson, Professor Anand Pawar, sir, Dean Faculty of Commerce, to address the gathering.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Good afternoon, Anand, all. How are you? Afternoon after lunch. Lunch effect, huh? Okay. Respected principal, Dr. Balabhaskar, the Department of Commerce and Business Management, organizers, particularly conveners, Dr. Jhansi Rani, Dr. Mallikarjun Rao, who is one of my best friends, and he has been associating with our university for quite a long time. And other friend, Dr. Buchaya, not old but very bold friend. And other friends on the dais, and Dr. Praveen Kumar Reddy from NG College, Nalgonda, previously he was in the Begum College. Other colleagues from City College, is very bold in not only in terms of structure but also in terms of its reputation and productivity, production of students. Okay, year on year, we have been producing thousands of graduates. Okay, and definitely we have to appreciate the organizers for taking up this kind of events, because anyway we are all going for assessment and accreditation by NAC. So though it is not part of NAC, but it is
daily routine activities, the part of academic activities. And I always keep telling my friends, teachers, and students, before I talk about entrepreneurship and startup, let me say a few words about what generally teachers do. So basically, what teachers does, they generally train the student. It means not just teaching. Teaching is part of, one of the functions of teachers. So there are basically three major functions that a teacher has to perform. Generally, I call it, they are complete teachers, otherwise incomplete. What are they? Number one is, when the teacher starts training the child or student, training short form is TRG, teaching, research, and guidance. It means those teachers who are taking only teaching assignments are one-third teachers, and those who have completed the research degree are called two-third teachers, and those who are able to guide and produce the students with not only classroom teaching and subject knowledge, but also knowledge of research. Means guiding the student, then they are able to follow or perform the functions called, third function called guidance or extension we call it. So when all these three functions are performed by any teacher, then only you are full-fledged teacher. So remember, if you are not, if anybody, please go ahead with registration of PhD and try to complete the PhD as early as possible. Then you can easily jump into the domain of thought domain that is called guiding or extension. So I want to see you all critical complete teachers, not incomplete teachers or one-third teachers or two-third teachers. Okay, with this new opening remark of mine, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this 2 days national seminar on entrepreneurship and startup. So friends, we all of us know nowadays nobody is interested to take up the task of employment. Make a note of it. Because employment, we call it a typical teacher or a typical bank manager or a typical anybody else. And even those who are working as teachers or anybody else, particularly in the public domain or public sector organizations, or we call it simply government jobs, are monotonous, and most of the children of them, children are not liking their parents or father who work as a routine teacher or manager or any other job, whatever it is concerned. So when the teacher or the bank manager or any government employee is not liked by the own children, how can they liked by others and the society at all? So this is one point where we have to stretch our idea and think always a bit. Then only we can try to get solutions, as many solutions as possible. That is one idea. And as a teacher, whether you are a KBC teacher or a PG teacher or a university teacher, all are basically teachers. And what we do every day is routine, of course. Nowadays, because of guidelines, new guidelines come up, and our role has been getting changed. More or less, it is dynamic now. Otherwise, what happens? Regularly coming to the class, taking attendance, then some record, close the class and go. See, when these type of routine activities are not liked by the children of the old parent or the father or mother, how it can be accepted by the society and the students of your new generation students. And when it comes, this is one other way we can understand what is the role of this. Second, when it comes to young mind, young students, and nowadays almost 5 to 6 lakh students are coming up from traditional courses, especially from Telangana. And 10 lakh students are coming from intermediate plus similar colleges. And almost same number of students are coming from schools. So the government jobs or public employment in the public sector undertaking are not much. And of course, this is one. And the young minds, particularly your generation, younger generations, are not interested in government jobs. That's what my reading or experience of what I have done to. Because nowadays I am also taking care of placement center at our university. And recently I conducted one placement, drive for recruitment of 65 staff, right from cashier to vice president of some private company. You know how many number of prospective students turned up? We have advertised 2 days before in the paper, and 11 candidates came, out of which only 6 were selected. So what it talks about? It means you are not preferring job, okay, or employment in, or not to be. They wanted to be employer or entrepreneur. So this is the mindset of the youth. And let me share one idea. When my boy was going for his engineering college, and he could see at his college at university where he pursuing his BTech. So all BBS students are selling vegetables. They are buying vegetables from nearby markets and selling weekends, and they are making money out of it. The motive of this kind of activities taking care or initiated by the university or colleges are not to make profit, but to make them to develop the interest in the minds of young graduates with business ideas. And my son was telling me that is, they are selling one white paper for 3 rupees. And what is the cost of a bundle? He was asking me. I said it is 300 rupees, 75 or something like that. So make it 300. So they are selling it 1,500 rupees. Oh, profit it is. So I want to start my own business. And this is how they are learning from each other. Not only BBS students, there are many. And nowadays, in every day, particularly if we talk about businesses, we are not talking about business, large scale business organizations, but when we talk about MSMEs, and now we are not even talking about MSMEs, only micro and small organizations or businesses. Then we call it entrepreneurs or startup. Then when it comes to business, when the employment is monotonous, which is repeatedly doing the same job and people are not getting interest. And number 2 is the government sectors are not in a position to accommodate all the graduates, those who are coming from colleges and universities. Only less than 10% graduates are able to employable, and rest of 90% are not. Why and how? So this is a big question before all of us as teachers is our concern. So when it is our concern, what we have to take care, we have to create some idea in the minds of our graduates, or to make them potential business entrepreneurs or startup owners or whatever we call it. And to start businesses is not an easy task. We are also true. But when it comes to startup, particularly during 2010 onwards, the startup era was started. Yeah, more rapidly during these last 20 years. Not more than that, but nowadays, in a day, how many startups are coming up? When you talk about in Indian context, 1,40,000 startups are coming up. And what is the share of Telangana state or Hyderabad? It is almost 40%. So imagine how Telangana capital that Hyderabad has become place for innovation and entrepreneurship. And we all of us know how entrepreneurship or MSMEs are different from that of startups. So there are only few features which distinguishes from MSMEs and traditional businesses. One must be what? Scalability, technology and innovation. Third, anybody? Global approach and outreach. Fourth, you must be young, that is youth. And fifth would be initial low cost or low initial cost. These are the 5 different features of any startup. So let me brief all these 5 in brief. The scalability means when it comes to other businesses, whether it may be a large business case, or it may be a MSME, or any traditional form of business. Scalability means you can increase your size and market potential every quarterly 10% to 20%, and you can multiply your business within 1 or 2 years. Multiply your business in a very short period of time. That facility and scope is available for startup. It is not there in case of other business forms where we call MSMEs or entrepreneurs or any traditional business setup. And second point, when we talk about technology and innovation, we all running after technology, no doubt about it. I will tell you one small story what is happening about startup later. And technology. In every unit of any chapter or any subject ends with technology application in dash. In every chapter now, whether it is science or commerce or business management or any even literature, without technological applications, no subject is getting ended. So in every chapter, application of technology is must. So when we are talking about technology is not state-of-the-art technology. Technology is simple, it should be simple, and mostly based on what software technology, not ICTs. Nowadays we are talking about digitalization, not ICTs, which is advancement of ICTs. So generally MSME supply, they apply not state-of-the-art technology. Enterprise they use, but startups are digital concept, digital applications. And then when it comes to third feature of any startup, what global approach. You can position your product or services not only local market but also global market, from where you can start your business, whether it is from a street to a market where all business, malls or any SEZs are taking place. And next point would be about all of us about startup is not the job of middle and above middle class age group employees are human. It is the brain child, or what we call the dynamic mindset of youth is required, because youth have that potential. We all of us know, and we have learned so many things from the words of Swami Vivekananda and APJ Abdul Kalam, and so many, including Odram Vivekananda. I can personally consider J.D. Lakshminarayan. Nowadays, he is empowering the students with his very innovative talk and inspiring many students to think beyond the boundaries. So, and next point would be about initial low cost. To start any business idea, any startup, it is not required huge investment. 2-3 people can join, have an idea, put before some consultancy. Nowadays, consulting firms are also guiding how to execute your idea and convert those ideas into startups. So there are consultancies where you can train yourself to make your ideas into reality. So this is how youth are attracted by startup, or rather youth are running after the startup idea. And last but not least, a fifth point is all about it is very low cost project. You can start with very low budget by contributing the 2 to 3 people or 5 people, and you can start your own business. But very sad side of the startup. In every year, almost if you look at the statistics of failure of that startup, it is all about 90%. That is sad side of this story. And when it comes to success, it is only 10%. Why? Because the technology adopted is not suitable. The market was not identified suitably or correctly. So likewise, and unadequate funds are limited funds. So likewise, there are so many limitations for this. And because of all these, we could not or we cannot stop our ideas convert them into reality. So though there are short part of the story, but still there are success stories, Apple, Amazon, Google and Facebook. These are all startups, no doubt about it. Later on they became MNCs, multinational companies. Likewise, we in every day regularly we see Ola, Uber, whatnot, tea time, small tea time. There are so many startups like tea time nowadays, Madras, premium tea, and so on and so forth. Many umpteen number of startups are coming in the way, and those are all possible because of if we are trained properly. Because getting an idea is not an easy task, but when getting an idea becomes when you are have in-depth search or research, where we can start our ideas suitable with what sector. Particularly, we need to have our aptitude, business aptitude. Therefore, nowadays, a new education policy also made it mandatory to take up so many skill-oriented courses, irrespective of the domain of it, whether it is from science or commerce or education or any social sector. So project report is made mandatory because learn research aptitude, develop your research aptitude, and thereby you can identify the problem. So only research shows you the way where the problem is existing. And when you identify the problem, even all of us know that even if you get any sick or any illness, so no doctor will identify what kind of problem you are facing. So instead of you yourself explain the doctor, is it or not? So doctor will not check and see that you are suffering with this problem. So we as patient, we have to tell him, that is doctor, these are the problems, and then he will diagnose it and then identify the problem. So 50% of the problem is over by identification of problem. Then treatment is very easy. Similarly, when it comes to business startup, so you have to have an idea, and idea should origin from the problem identification. And every research starts with problem identification only. So when you identify the research problem or problem in a business organization, because every business are suffering one or the other problem. Definitely, because business itself is a risk. Where it is risk, there are so many problems. And of course, if you identify rightly, then you can address or you can prescribe the medicine for that. So once you prescribe right medicine, you can solve the problem like any doctor prescription, like doctor prescription. So similarly, there are so many organizations are coming up, and as I made mention about youth are not showing any interest in employment because it is my own experience where I am experiencing through my placement cell. And even now there are 100 companies are with me to recruit the people. But I am because people are not coming. Really, this is what my experience nowadays. Earlier, 2 years ago, I was under the impression that even I am not for, though I am heading the state federation of the university teachers as advisor, but I never in favor of enhancement of superannuation. I am up to 60 enough because my younger generation should get into employment. That is my concern. Though my personal interest is different, but when I am heading a group, I have to go by group because it's a democratic. So I cannot deviate from the majority because majority opinion. So I always believe in this. Every younger generation should get into this, and once I became a anybody professor, how many classes the professor teaches? No, even single class is not being taken. They are head, dean, director, blah, 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 and therefore they are busy 24 hours. Therefore, see, the very purpose of superannuation is to give expertise and experience, right? But we are not giving them what is the purpose of retaining. That's what we find. And of course, there are other teachers, those who came late the service, they may be wanted more number of years to serve. So I'm not against anybody, but this is my personal opinion, because I always look at my younger generation or next generation to get employed or engaged. But at the same time, this was the opinion of last 2 years. But now my opinion has got changed, because this generation is not showing any interest in employment. Because routine job, no change, morning 10 o'clock, going 10 o'clock, coming by 5 o'clock, same job. If your children ask as a teacher, what you did? Every day same. So obviously our students are not inspiring us. Earlier teachers means most of the students or children will get inspired to become teachers, or any, for example, the family where the IPS people are involved, IS people are involved. Definitely from their family. For example, if you look at the family of Mahanti, there are 4 Mahantis are into one same department called police department, who worked as DGP for short term for our state of Telangana or earlier. It was AP. And in his family, other 3 IPS people are there: son-in-law, daughter, and son-in-law, daughter-in-law. So all 5 IPS. Because why? And if you look at the earlier days, teacher, they inspired children, and children also become teachers. But nowadays, this is not there. Why? Because they are seeing their parents and other colleagues as they are robots. We are robots, robotic people. Because we do same thing, and which is not liked by you. Therefore, they are not showing any interest in employment, and they don't want to work 30 years or 35 years long in a same job and same organization. This is another side of the scenario which is prevailing. Therefore, the only way out and making money, even sometimes my son asks me, how much you earned for last 5 years? How much his uncle, brother-in-law, in a business, he's running a business, wine business or something like that. How much he earned? He earns 1 crore in a year, whereas I know. Then kids are looking very lucrative ways. And then he says, no, we don't want this kind of job. You may have only respect, but not vitamin yum. So we want vitamin yum. And their ideology, their thinking, and the friends they are associating with, all like that. And nowadays we have only 1 or 2 children, and we are making them, not to take any risk. We are dropping them, we are picking them from college onward, and they are not there. My children do not know how to take bus. Very unfortunately, but nowadays I send them to nearby places in Hyderabad and go summer or holidays to take bus or auto and learn how people are moving and what is the difficulties. So the life cycle, and same life cycle is there with startup and business and finance. When we talk about life cycle of our human, earlier 1 generation suffers, and the suffering generation who take care of their children to educate them and make them to become some employment or some businessman, and they are taking up like that, and their children are not going to any pain, and they will suffer and they will land again where other generations are starting. Again, that generation will suffer. Next generation will enjoy. Next generation will just sustain and down. So this is the life cycle. My father was farmer. Because my father made me not to suffer like farmer. So I struggled hard and made some effort and became a professor. And my children is enjoying it. It is the case of anybody else. And then they will enjoy it for short term and very next generation, my grandchildren's generation, maybe are enjoying little because they will not make any effort, and by that time they will eat everything whatever we accumulated or created wealth, and then again they start their journey from zero. So this is the life cycle. So likewise for startup or business also, lot of life cycle we have to undergo, and it is very short life cycle for startups. You know, within 3 months you can double, multiply your business, and by the time 5 years you take forward, and when startup become 5 years old and making 100 crores turnover, then your startup will become unicorn startup. Means you are successful startup. So from there, you know, within 3 to 5 years, you can convert your unicorn startup into MNCs. This is very short span of life cycle for business, whereas MSME or any other businesses, they are traditional vision, and their approach is different, not global approach. They think about local approach and all that. And because of all these dimensions which are taking place in the context of business, and more particularly with reference to startup in India and abroad, most of the startups they are making, and one show it is going on. How many of you are aware? I don't know. Short term, Sony TV at 9:30 p.m. Anybody? What is that idea? Anybody? Shark Tank. Yes. See, this is the show where if you have any idea of business, that start a business, you can participate in that and share your idea. And there are days some partners will emerge and help you how to go about it. So please watch regularly, because these are not entertainment shows, and these are all business model where you can trigger your thought process and convert your ideas into reality. That is nothing but startup. So I wish all these best to all the young students, particularly my domain, commerce and management students, because all of you are from commerce, right? Yeah. So I wish you all the best for your future career. And if you are interested, whatever you want to do, you do it. Don't take back, because you have sufficient time and energy to invest and convert this into startup, and definitely you will succeed, no doubt about it. But only the thing is, you are to, and if you have idea, you can also go by some some consultancies are there, which is located in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. What is that? Upnab Consultants Private Limited is the company which is promoting startups. If you go with your idea, they will give you all pro and cons, and what are the limitations with your idea and all that, and they will give you some input, and also they will generate partners to venture with you. So, and in the future, number of consultancy companies will come up and guide you. Definitely, you will take a bright future. Thank you one and all for inviting me. Thank you one and all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for giving the valuable speech on business, entrepreneurship, and startup MSME. Now, I would like to call upon co-chairperson, Dr. N. Chayasa, Assistant Professor of Commerce, to address the gathering.
At the outset, I congratulate the convener of this seminar Jansi Rani Madam, and Mallikarjun Rao sir, and my guru and friendly Professor Anand sir, Dean Faculty of Commerce, Ambedkar Open University, and today's resource person, and my dear learned colleagues and dear students. At the outset, this is the platform where we exchange the new ideas, where we share the innovative ideas among the academicians as well as entrepreneurs, investors. These are all the interlinked terms. The need is the mother of invention. The invention needs the innovation. Innovation leads the entrepreneurship. So this is the basic pillars of the entrepreneurship or startups. The startup is exactly simple words. Any organization characterized by uncertainty and risk. The future is certainly uncertain. So we must ready to face the uncertainty of in the business, uncertainty in your operations which are undertaken by you. So here my oral observation from the startup point of view, I worked in Kurnool district. So we have developed the ideological foundation in the minds of the students because the students are the budding entrepreneurs, the upcoming generation who will do the wonders because normally in our families also we nourish our child, don't do it, don't do this, do this in this manner. So that builds the totally the creativity of the student mind. So we as a young generation faculty members, we must inculcate the innate strength of the students and we must motivate them towards the identification of the any social entrepreneurship also playing a vital role in today's environment. Social entrepreneurship. The ultimate aim of education is to solve the problems of the society. The best example is Uber. Uber as solving the problems of the transportation of the men and material, especially everything. So likewise, we as a lecturers, we as a researchers, we as a good academicians must identify, must encourage, must motivate the students in that direction. So when you make the direction only, recently I feel wonderful film Balagam. The Balagam direction depends upon the director. So it attracts the attention of the audience. The same is the case in case of startup. You must attract the attention of the customers because the customer is a king. Means whenever you need the needs and wants of the customer, you are the king in the manufacturing or you are king in the investor. There is a surety and certainty, and there is no risk. No risk, we can say always. There is less risk. We can avoid the risk. We can eliminate the risk. So that is the main aim of this seminar. The seminar must reach the because see the startups must arrive from must emerge from the culture also. The culture gives the best inputs to make a startups. If you take the Kurnool district, one district, one product. Onions is famous for the Kurnool is famous for the onions. The Hyderabad is famous for biryani. The Hyderabad is famous for halim. So one city, one biryani. So we can make a platform and you can start the business as a budding entrepreneur. It is my advice to my budding entrepreneur students. The city college, the heart of the city college is both cities of the Hyderabad and Secunderabad. Because you have plenty of opportunities. There is you unleash your potential. When you unleash, when our colleagues, our London researchers will give the inputs. These are the best areas, these are the best platforms for a startups. So just guiding. Unless we do not know, that is the reason the information plays a vital role. The information leads the best decision. Unless we do not know, we will not take the decisions. So the time is very limited. So for giving this wonderful opportunity, I congratulate the convener of this seminar and for choosing this topic and learning colleagues and students and dignitaries on the dais. Thank you one and all for giving this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for giving the valuable information to us. Now, I would like to call upon the two persons, Mr. Rowan and Mr.
of Pioneer Technology Business Incubator. Please address the gathering.
Hi. Hey, మీరు లాగా ఆడియన్స్ మరి ఎవరు పోతున్నారు? Right, I'm perplexed about speaking to you. So we have a shortage of time. So I'll be very crisp and clear and very short. How do I address you? As a academician or as a ecosystem enabler? I come from an background of academician for 2 years. I worked as an assistant professor, so I know what is the mindset of academician. And most of you are from academics. And I also know that right now I come from an ecosystem enabler background. So how do I address you? Which one is it? Second one? Okay. So if I have to address to you like an ecosystem enabler, then I need your interaction with me. You're not dolls, right? Who has got some food in their bellies and they are just sleeping. Right? This is the seminar on what? Entrepreneurship and startups in India. What is entrepreneurship? So I have 2 questions before I go. I'll ask these 2 questions in this time that we interact with each other. We'll get to know about this. So on the dais we have 5 words. I want the meanings of those 5 words from you guys. 1, entrepreneurship. 2, startup. 3, commerce. 4, business. 5, management. Okay. Can anyone tell me what are the meanings of this? Okay, just give me a count. So please 1. Say 1. So 1, 3. Say it out.
4, 5, 6.
Louder. Huh? What's the number? Where is 9? I couldn't hear you. Yes, next. Madam. After you. One skipped. She said 12, right?
17, 18.
See, this is the problem here. Okay, you are not interested. It is very disrespectful to us. Okay, because I asked the simple question. Start from 1. Someone skipped it. Someone is not following the line itself. Someone doesn't know why they are sitting here. And you expect us to give you the speech on problem solving, us to give you the awareness about entrepreneurship and all. Your intention is not right, then how can we deliver what we want? Be active, guys. Okay. Chalo, again start. Lara.
8, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again,
Where is Ferdinand? ఏం సార్ ఇట్లా ఉండే గట్టిగా చెప్పండి 39 అని మీ ఆస్తులు అయితే అడుగుతుంది కదా నంబరే కదా చెప్పండి గట్టిగా
సేమ్ ప్రాబ్లం మళ్ళీ సార్ దగ్గరనే ఆగిపోయింది. So this is a problem. Right now you have a problem. How do you solve this? You have a problem. You, as Joe said, you need an idea. Before an idea, you need a problem. So this is a problem. How do you solve it? How do you ideate? How? You set the process, but initiation, how do you do it? Because an idea can change your life, right? Entrepreneurship is also about idea, but it's more based on problem-oriented idea. Without a problem, the idea has no value to it, right? So give me the meanings of these 5 things: entrepreneurship, startup, commerce, business, and management. I hope there are some presentations as well. If you want me to be lengthy, I will be lengthy. If you want me to cut it down, I will cut it down. అదే నాకు తెలిసిందైతే నేను చెప్పట్లేదు కదా, మిమ్మల్ని ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అడిగిన, ఈ 5కి మీనింగ్స్ చెప్పండి అని. తెలిస్తే చెప్పండి, లేకపోతే మాకు తెలియదని చెప్పండి. నన్ను ఎందుకు బబ్బులు లెక్క ఇక్కడ నిల్చోబెట్టేది. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏ సర్కస్ గై, రైట్? ప్లాట్ఫామ్ పట్టుకుని అయితే ఎగరంటే కదా, చెప్పండి మరి. ఎస్, లౌడా. Good to know about it. Yes. Come forward. గట్టిగా చెప్పు. Absolutely wrong. Next. Any other words, 4 words? Are ఒకటేనా? Yes, madam. Good afternoon. Startup, yes.
We started since 5 years, not first 5 years, with the amount of minimum 1 lakh to 5 crores. If it is crossing, then we cannot mention it as a startup.
Okay, partially correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is S. from CollegeHyd College, BG Retailing. Sir, entrepreneurship means the startup of business is independent. Startup of business is independent in solo mode, and we can face a problem and we have a solution. Then become a startup business. That's called as entrepreneurship.
నువ్వేం చెప్పావు తెలుసా? ఒక డబ్బలో రాళ్ళేసి బిజినెస్ అన్నాను, నాకేమి వినిపించలేదు. నీ పక్కన ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి కూడా అర్థం కాదు.
The entrepreneurship means starting of the independent business without any funding or investment with ourselves.
Anyone else?
Entrepreneurship is basically developing, learning, and organizing of the profit motive when take risk.
Anyone else?
Entrepreneurship means starting a new business or developing
Anyone else? Yes, Bashmita. Yes, Bashmita. Management, please.
Management is getting things done with about 2 hours.
Again.
Management is getting things done with about 2 hours.
Thank you. One correct answer.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So I would like to tell about the business. So business is a thank you. So business is a where like one or more people come together to maybe for the manufacturing or any purpose.
Anyone else? On the dais. Sort of time. I didn't take much of time, sir. Please note that. You guys has taken much of time. Okay, then I'll give you the glimpse about it. So entrepreneurship is something, it is a process, it is a journey of an individual. Okay? What kind of individual? An individual who is problem solver first. He identifies a problem, then he starts to ideate on those problems in order to solve that problem and come up with a solution. Do you think that any problem has only one solution? There are many solutions, right, to a problem. For example, you need to reach here. You can reach from any part of the area or in Hyderabad, right? So likewise, every problem has different solutions. In those solutions, if you are coming up with one such unique solution, which can reduce your cost, reduce your effort, reduce your time, is called innovation. An individual who uses innovation to solve a problem while creating an opportunity of employability for others and at the same time creating an opportunity of economic development. This is a bookie's definition of entrepreneurship that you can find in Google. Okay. In the Google also, they will say an individual who takes financial risk to create employment opportunities and economic growth. But they forget that he is a problem solver first. Any person can be an entrepreneur? No. A person who solves a problem will only be an entrepreneur. If and if he creates these things. He uses innovation to create employment. He uses innovation to develop the economy. Right, next, we have startups. Startups is a very fictional word. You won't find it in dictionary also. It is introduced very recently into the dictionary. Okay, what is startup? Startup. It's an ignition stage. Okay, what these startups initially are? They are business entities. That's why I said it is partially correct. They are business entities. Ma'am, please wake up. So they are business entities who transform those business entities into a legal entity called as company. There are a number of types of companies, right? You have 5 different types of companies in general. If you form a legal entity in those companies, under those types of companies, from Ministry of Corporation of what is it? MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, under DPIIT, and if you get recognized by DPIIT, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, if they recognize you and they give you a certificate of Startup India, then you will be called as a startup. Other than that, all this nonsense that we are talking about, startup, no one is startup. Unless and until you are recognized by the Indian government, then only you will be called as an Indian startup. Just starting a company? No. Yes. The eligibility of becoming a startup is, in an annual year, you have to generate less than 100 crores of revenue. A company who generates less than 100 crores of revenue and their incorporation date or the tenure of their incorporation should be less than 10 years. This is from the MCA guidelines. Then only you will be recognized as a startup of Indian economy. Then we have commerce. Commerce, yes, what is commerce? You guys come from commerce background and you don't know commerce. Sorry?
Okay. Simplest way. It's an exchange of goods and services. Yes. Then what is commercialization? Exactly. When you involve monetary things to come up commerce, that is goods and services, it becomes commercialization. What happens to the business then? What is business? Sorry? Louder. Good one. What actually business is? It actually is similar, related to that, but what business is about? How do you do a business?
A business is an entity where like buying and selling takes place
Yes.
with the goal of profit maximization.
Yes. In a crisp way, in a clear way.
A business is an entity where the buying and selling of goods and services takes place with the motive of profit maximization.
Exactly. But the fundamentals of doing business is two things. The first fundamental is a business should earn profit. Without profit, it cannot be called as a business. Whatever you do the activities, you do it as an organization, entity, whatever it is. If you are not earning profit, it is not called as a business. Agreed? How many? You are not agreed. So the second fundamental is
Shareholders information.
Need fulfillment. The economic activity is an economic activity where needs are to be fulfilled.
demand and supply. That's what means. Whatever you are uttering, that is completely a different meaning. Demand and supply is completely a different meaning. Right? What about management? Yes. One of my students has told that management is what? Huh? Exactly. With the usage of art, it's an art of usage of people doing the work for you. Right. Any other things that you want to know from me? Because short of time, I'll close it. No things? Yes. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable information. You have touched on the regarding the business, management, entrepreneur. Thank you so much. Now, it's a time for a presenter. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. S. Sunita Ma, Telangana Social Welfare, Residential Degree College, Government. Paper is presenting on unicorn startups from India. Good afternoon, all the dignitaries on the direction of the nice. My topic is today's topic is unicorn startups in India, a case study approach. Myself, Dr. Sunita, FFA awarded PhD in commerce from Osmania University under the supervision of S.K. Subramanian sir. Working in Telangana Social Welfare Residential Degree College as a lecturer. So coming to here, unicorn startups means here the startups which are cost valuation $1 million, which is called unicorns. In India, Inmobi is the first Indian startup that attained unicorn startup status 11 years ago. And Bangalore remains the largest unicorn hub in India, with multiple unicorns headquarters in the city. India became the world's third largest state of economy and also
crossed the 107 unicorns marked in 2022. The country was now ranked behind the US and China. Objectives of my study is to study the initiatives taken by the government of India for startup companies, to do the startups which comes under the unicorn club, to give the case studies of successful startups. Here I have taken two case studies. That is, one is the Swiggy food delivery company, and one another is OnPay. Okay. Then coming to the what are the schemes provided by the government to encourage the startups? I have taken here 10 top government schemes. First one is the SMART. So this scheme for promotion of innovation, rural industries, and entrepreneurship provides financial for setting up livelihood businesses. And the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Mudra provides refinances to banks and other microfinance institutions for lending to micro unicorns. And another scheme is support for international patent protection in electronics and information technology sector. The civic scheme was launched by the Department of Entrepreneurship and Information Technology. So every startups are required innovation, they help. And another scheme is multi-trade grants scheme, MGS, and credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises. Single point registration scheme. So those startups are unicorns which are having this registration. They can freely participate in the government tenders. Next one is high risk and high reward research. This startup is having very innovative idea and a good success in their business. They can be rewarded. Zero defect, zero effect scheme. The scheme provides tools, technology, as well as financial assistance to startups and MSMEs for ensuring zero defects in their goods. Z also offers a holistic certification, assess enterprises for Z, and support startups in climbing up the maturity assessment model of the scheme. So, stages of the startups. First and lowest level of startup is called a approach, and startups achieving the valuation of 10 million is called a monies. Startups which valuation of $100 million, then it is centos. Then startups achieving a valuation of $1 billion, that is called unicorn. Startups achieving a valuation of $10 billion, that is called the heterocorn. Next stage is the heterocorn and supercorn, that is called startups achieving a valuation of $100 billion, that is called the super unicorns. So here I have given number of unicorns in India across the years from 2001 to 2011 to 22. In the 2011, 12 and 13, 14, up to 14, we are having 15 and 16, 17, we are having single digit unicorns in India. In 2021, we are having the highest unicorns, that is 44 unicorns, and in 2022, 22 unicorns. So here I given the top unicorn 10 unicorns in 2022. In this top 10, the first unicorn is the number one unicorn is 84 with a $2.5 billion valuation. After that, Mama Earth. The second place is by Mama Earth, it's $1.15. These are the unicorns, top unicorns in 2022. Next case study is I have taken here the Swiggy food delivery company. This is founded in 2014 by alumni of Indian top engineering colleges in the IIT Kharagpur and BITS Pilani, the founder of the Bangalore-based startups are Nathan Reddy, Shirisha Reddy, and Robert Germany. Swiggy is the India's leading on-demand food delivery platform with a vision to raise the quality of life of the urban customer by convenience. And Swiggy is present in over 500 cities across India and has a fleet of over 1 lakh delivery partners. Swiggy technology platform has been integrated to its success. In 2018, Swiggy achieved unicorn status, and within span of 4 years of time from 2018 to 2022 have achieved the unicorn status. Major competitors of Swiggy are Zomato, Foodpanda, Uber Eats, Paisa, etc. The marketing strategies of Swiggy are target people who have disposable income and prefer ordering instead of cooking at home, delivery time efficiency, This is single window for ordering with addition customer services. I don't know. So this, the valuation, by the 2021 July, the Swiggy valuation is $5.5 million and the market share is 43%. Compared to Zomato, Swiggy is now the top delivery company in the food. And another one, another case study is also their phone pay. I'll give you this brief of phone page. The phone pay, another case study I have here taken. Phone pay is an Indian digital payment platform. Just I give the highlights of the phone pay. 2018, phone pay was achieved the unicorn status, and in 2013, it achieved the decacorn status. Major companies of the phone pay is Paytm, Google Pay, Amazon Pay, and Rosa Pay. So marketing strategies of the phone pay is they are using more this. Okay, I conclude because of time. I have prepared actually 40 so entrepreneur, the topic is entrepreneurship and the startup. First of all, our India is young people are more, 60% of the Indian people are in from 25 age to 35 age people are there. So whenever Indian and mind is change their mindset from job seekers to job provider, they will be enter into the we are entering the development stage next our companies will enter into the development stages. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Sujita. Very nice presentation. Made an attempt. However, one attempt would have been made. You have included some empirical data. When you talk about case study, it should have been there some primary data.
Primary data.
Yeah, then otherwise, thank you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You have mentioned $1 billion, right? This is the value of $1 billion in India. Why have you mentioned it in dollars, not in rupees? Why? And you have done 2 case studies, right? So what is the outcome that you are giving to the audience?
In successful case studies, these 2 answers that I have taken. One company is successful, that is entering into the decacorn status. Both these companies are entering the decacorn status. So that's why I have taken these 2 cases.
From my point of view, I think this data is already present in the net. If a person has an interest, he'll get to know all these things. What your paper or the research that you have done will help for the audience who is learning to. I got one thing from your data, that is, there are different stages of from a corporate stage, veterinary stage, e-com stage, decacorn stage. That I got. Likewise, the audience who doesn't know anything about it, how they will be beneficial. That is what I'm interested in.
Yes, my aim is to this. I want to tell the audience that how these startups are went as a unicorn on the decacorn stage, and there is a stage of
What it is?
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunita ma'am. I request the paper professor, please ask for time constraint. Please try to minimize the voice. Please focus on output and objectives. What you want to do the research, why you are doing research on this paper. Now I would like to call upon Amsul Bhatt, Indira Priyadarshini Ramakrishna College of Women. I welcome you, ma'am. And paper presenting on entrepreneurship and startup in India. Good afternoon, ladies on the right and on the right. Myself, Amsul Bhatt. My topic is entrepreneurship and startup in India. Department of Industry Policy and Promotion Fund has mentioned more than 400 startups for education, funding, supporting on business plans, teaching support, etc.
Startup in India online hub is also being developed and will serve as an online platform where all the stakeholders of the startup ecosystem can work together and synchronize their efforts. The opportunity even for startup in India is under the initiative startups were exempted from paying income tax on their income for the first year. Around 80% rebates were provided on filing a patent application. There was an exemption of tax on the capital gain. A mobile app was launched to enable startup to get registered within a day. No letter of recommendation from an industry association is needed. The challenges faced by the startup in India are selection and registration process is not automated or the system rises. Rather, the approval process involves a lot of human involvement and disciplinary power, which again open the way for corruption. The fund created by the government is not helpful either if the team can provide assistance only. Other investors and venture capital are investing in the company. The strategies given for Indian startups are under the new initiative, startups were allowed to self-certify compliance through the startup mobile app with the 9 labor environment law. Many startups were unable to reach their full potential due to limited guidance and access. The government also promised to organize mentorship program in collaboration with government organizations, incubation centers, education institutions, and private organizations. The study concludes that the startup in India was launched by the government to provide a very promising future to entrepreneurs of the country. The initiative interviews were in great favor to make startups successfully. Some of these initiatives like easier and faster registration, self-certification, zero inspection for first few years were a great aid to people who wanted to pursue a business through the media. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, that was okay. Entrepreneurship is started in India. Both you have taken entrepreneurship as well as startup. So only one. You have taken only one, either entrepreneurship or startup. And you have taken case study of Hyderabad or Telangana instead of India. Okay. So let us take a small piece of work and go a little deeper inside. Okay. This is my piece of advice. Okay. Thank you. Next.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request B. Kasturbai, ma'am, please participate. Madam, presenting a paper on women entrepreneurship.
Respected visitors on there and off there, and my dear students, good afternoon to all of you. I'm going to speak about entrepreneurship and women entrepreneurship. A big business starts small. So, dear students, hope you will understand because this is all for you. ఎలా ఉన్నా మీకు ఈ రోజు టాపిక్ ఇది చాలా అవసరం. ఓకే, సో ఎంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్‌షిప్, yes, thank you. సో ఎంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్‌షిప్ స్టార్టప్స్ మాకు ఎక్కడ నేను ఎక్కడ చేయగలను అని అనుకోవద్దు. మీలాంటి వాళ్ళని ఐడియాస్ వస్తాయి, పెద్ద పెద్ద బిజినెస్ మీలాంటి వాళ్ళని స్టార్ట్ చేయగలరు. సో వాట్ ఐ ఫీల్ ఇస్ a business idea అనేది it comes from observation. మీరు ఎక్కడున్నా కూడాను what is the need of the people? Because make what the people want. And it is business successful goal. Yes. So if you make what the people want, then you will be a successful entrepreneur. Okay. So risk is always there in any business. Risk and return go hand in glove. But still, without risk, you can't achieve anything. So I see many budding entrepreneurs among you guys.
సో ప్లీజ్ ఈ రోజు సెమినార్ జాగ్రత్త రేపు కూడా జరిగే సెమినార్ని మీరు ఉన్న చోట అవసరం ఏంటి, టెక్నాలజీని ఏ విధంగా వాడుకోవచ్చు. మన ఇంటి ముందరికి అలవేపై అసలు వస్తూ ఉంటాడు, మైక్ వస్తాడు, 100 రూపాయలకి 2 కేజీలు కదా. సో నోరు పెట్టి గట్టిగా వచ్చేటట్టు ఆ మైక్ పెట్టుకుంటే అందరికీ రీచ్ అవుతాడు, ప్లస్ ఆయన కూడా చాలా కుశలంగా ఉంటుంది, గట్టిగా అవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు కదా. సో టెక్నాలజీ హౌ యూ కెన్ మేక్ బెస్ట్ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ టెక్నాలజీ అని ఆలోచించి మీ ఉన్న పరిధిలో ఎలాంటి ఎంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్‌షిప్ కి అవకాశం ఉందో చూసి చిన్నగా స్టార్ట్ చేయండి, అదే పెద్ద బిజినెస్ అవుతుంది. ఐ విష్ యు ఆల్ ది వెరీ బెస్ట్ అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ గివింగ్ మీ దిస్ ఛాన్స్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
కస్తూరి వైద్య ఉమెన్ ఎంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్‌షిప్ చేశారు.
సార్ ఉమెన్ ఎంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్‌షిప్ అంటే టైం లిమిట్ అన్నారని చెప్పి ఇస్తున్నామా?
Is it descriptive paper or analytical?
No, it's not a descriptive paper.
Women enterpreneur you have taken as an example.
No, I have not, but since I am working in the college, and I find most of the girls are married girls, but having so many responsibilities, వాళ్ళలో చాలా ideas చూసుకుంటారు అని. Given chance, they can be very good, successful entrepreneurs, what I feel. So, I keep encouraging my students at my college level, and I tell them what are the opportunities, how they can get financial support from various sources, and how they can start their business అని నేను వాళ్ళని మోటివేట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాను సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call yes, subject ma'am, DDC Kalkata, Madam is presenting the paper on Mudra Loan Finance, Entrepreneurship and Startup in India. I welcome you. Respected dignitaries, entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs, and my dear students, good afternoon to all. From the day of the beginning, we have know what is entrepreneurship and what is the startup, all the things, and what is innovation. So you may in your life, any idea, whether it may be a partnership or proprietorship, or whether it is a salon or beauty parlor or any camp or food court, you get so for the financial assistance you may approach banks, other relatives for money, but the bank may provide you fixed capital, but regarding the capital, there is a shortcome. So for that, Pradhan Mantri Dr. Narendra Modi introduced the Mudra Yojana to the entrepreneur business. So the Mudra means and agency, it provides up to 50 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Up to 50 lakhs you may get issue, and the issue is for 5 lakhs, up to 5 lakhs, and up to 10 lakhs you may get the sudden loan from the bank, and it is usually for working capital. So you may set up business, and you may provide furniture and machinery, everything, but for daily activities you have some money in your hand. For that, Mudra provides you the better opportunity. So, and the Mudra, getting the Mudra loan is very easy. You may get it through online, and also the loans are very interest are also very less, and also there are many schemes under the Mudra loan, especially for women. It provides less interest. And not only that, we have many companies also defined many recommendations to improve the loan paper. Dear students, please go through my paper and you may get a better idea for the loan. Thank you.
So there the relationship between Mudra loan finance
Purpose. If I want to know from you.
But starting also, it means, working capital. So for that, Mudra loan.
You are not doctorate, right? But when you are not with the doctorate, at least, if you have considered an attempt to write one empirical study, then you will learn and the student also will learn.
Okay,
So try to do that, okay?
okay, thank you.
I submission to all the budding students and research scholars. You start initiating with empirical studies only, then only you will be able to learn something of it. Generally, this paper should write after doctorate 10 years of this. Because then your experience expertise will help you describe some, insight and future implications. Generally, that is the perspective of writing any paper. So my small piece of advice to all of you, please try to spareable time in developing empirical studies rather than the descriptive things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you, Sanjay ma'am. Now I request Dr. Padmakar Kulkarni, Professor of Economics, International School for Financial Studies, Abhinav Group of Institutions, for presenting the paper on innovation and digital economy.
Good evening, everybody. I am Dr. Padmakar Kulkarni, Professor of Economics, ISFS, International School for Financial Studies. This is to concern our partners group of institutions, however. And before going to the details of the paper, I would like to express my gratitude to Government City College for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And all the people who are on the dais and off the dais. The theme I have chosen is innovation and digital economy. I have briefly explained the extract for. The digital economy is rapidly transforming industry and creating new opportunities for growth and innovation. Companies must embrace new technologies and approaches to stay competitive and innovative. And innovation has become an essential thing for success in the environment. This paper aims to explore the relationship between innovation and digital economy and its impact on business growth and sustainability. This study begins by providing an overview of the digital economy and its key drivers. We will discuss the role of digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, blockchain, and the Internet of Things in transforming industries and creating new business models. We will also be examining the challenges and opportunities presented by these technologies, including ethical and social implications of their use. We will also examine the strategies and best practices for fostering innovation in the digital economy. We will discuss the role of leadership in promoting innovation, the importance of a supportive organizational culture, and benefits of open innovation and co-creation. And what is the importance of innovation in the digital economy? I can brief the things, keeping in mind the constraint of the time. Innovation is essential in the digital economy for several reasons. First, innovation drives competitiveness. In a fast-paced digital economy, businesses that fail to innovate risk being left behind by their competitors. By continually innovating, businesses can differentiate themselves and offer unique products and services that meet the changing needs of the customers. Second, innovation drives productivity. Digital technologies have the potential to transform how businesses operate, making them more efficient and reducing costs. Third, innovation drives growth by creating new products, services, or processes. Businesses can expand into new markets, attract new customers, and increase revenue. Here I have given a good description of different types of innovation.
And what are the key drivers of digital economy? You can say technological innovation, increased connectivity, data analytics, e-commerce, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, etc. And we have a lot of challenges and opportunities of the digital technologies. The challenges include the most important one, cyber security. The increase of the data breaches, the increase in the data breaches and cyber attacks has led to an increased need for cyber security measures to protect sensitive information and prevent cyber crimes. And second challenge is digital divide. The digital divide refers to the unequal distribution of digital technologies, where some individuals and communities have limited access to digital technologies, putting them at a disadvantage compared to those who have access. And third biggest challenge is job loss. With the rise of automation and artificial intelligence, some jobs will become obsolete, leading to job losses and increased unemployment. Okay, like I said, certain challenges about them I discussed in this paper. And coming to the last point, opportunities. Increased efficiency because of this innovations. The opportunities open up are efficiency, increase global connectivity, economic growth, you can say environment sustainability, improved access to education and healthcare, etc. To conclude, innovation is essential in the digital economy, driving competitiveness, productivity, and growth. The digital economy has created new opportunities for businesses to innovate, as well as facilitated the creation of innovation through digital platforms and tools. The significant investments made in research and development and innovation, as well as the growing number of patents related to digital technologies, highlight the importance of innovation in the digital economy. Thank you. Thank you once again for giving this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul. So you try to innovate digital economy. Okay. So you have covered what is that?
Oh, yes.
In a way, it is what is that? Okay, good at but you would have done with some innovation in digital economy to start. Oh, then it would have been more appropriate and good. Okay. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Due to some official work going, I request you to felicitate resource person Mr. Rohan Andika, Committee Manager, Smart Technology Business Incubator. I request Jaya Ma'am, Janki Rama Ma'am, Suresh Kumar sir, Naksha Suresh sir. Please come on the slide and felicitate sir. Now I welcome Dr. Rajesh Rao, Entrepreneurship Attitude among college students. Sir is presenting a paper on special reference to welcome. Respected dignitaries of the days and of the days, the topic of my research paper is entrepreneurship attitude among college students, a special reference to students of studying at the main objective of my study is to know whether they are aware of what exactly they want to do and whether they are entrepreneurship and startups. That was the objective behind. And the research methodology I have given is very convenient and 115 respondents I have taken and I have analyzed the data using SPSS version 26 statistical package. And I have used about one is demographic profile of the college students, and the second one is what are the problems they face when they think about entrepreneurship and startup, and and the third one is what do we suggest so that we can come up with the idea of entrepreneurship. So this is the third type 3 and type 2 areas of the Telangana districts, Telangana state. So therefore, things have taken into 3 categories. Now, when I started doing my search, when I divided demographic profile and started analyzing it, I found that the age group of 21 to 27 years, they are of utmost interested in doing not jobs, but to start a business. And astonishingly, sir, in these 2 areas, when I looked into the gender, I found that females are more interested in entrepreneurship. So that was a wonderful research which I have found in the rural area there. And when I think about when I analyze the marital status of this college, marrying the female and business, so that they can spend their time with the family and do the business. So that was the demographic respondents. And then when I look into the problems, the main problems they have said is availability of capital as well as labor. Okay, that was the first problem. And the second problem is family support. So when they take the idea of doing entrepreneurship, the family first step. First you do the job for 5 years. Itself, you come from a very, and they found that yes, the same conventional that person he has studied so much and thought you also did the job rather than forget. That is the instinct I found in that area. And see one another thing what I found from them is corruption. Corruption is one thing that they felt that it is obstructing them to think about it. And the third and last one is government policy. The rules and regulations for the
attention of students. Students are not doing any interest. Can we wind up? Please, okay? This is all for your purpose. Please, carry on.
yeah, thank you, sir. So those people, they are very much disturbed by the rules and regulations of the government policies. I mean, the scheme, how to approach for investment and all. So that was also the problem about entrepreneurship in those areas. Now, I think that because of youth for social impact program done by agencies in government colleges and all, I think that itself has brought something like thinking about entrepreneurship among college students. So that was but they have taken the democratic for tested in. So only different thinking students have tested, but not equal digit. So therefore awareness in those people also have to be conducted. So the suggestion of my research is awareness of entrepreneurship, especially the speed, lack of availability of capital, and can be done by organizations like us, to our EDCs, through some special camps like LSS, they're taking some or adopting some behaviors in those areas. Not just the clean and green program, but also entrepreneurship development and as such. And one more thing that they're expecting is tax reduction, tax exemption, and liberal rules and regulations, especially to start entrepreneurship. I think we should definitely suggest the government with these suggestions. So with this, I also tell to my paper is awareness about the schemes like also that also is lighting among college students because these are the children who can develop the mission by starting their own enterprises and that was job seekers in country. And if any queries,
Thank you, Dr. How you made an attempt to
yeah.
explore the primary data. Thank you.
Thank you.
And almost all the colleges now nowadays EDC, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you also the same.
Yes, sir. And
You have made an attempt that the enterprise practical among the college students, the role of ED sales,
yeah,
it would have been better.
that I mean, it is about to publish.
Because when you are talking about college students, no?
Yes,
The
yes,
role of ED sales,
yes.
then it would have been more appropriate and
Definitely, I have to say now.
thank you, all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Ramshia Krishna, Content College for Women. Ma'am is presenting a paper on a study on factors influencing online grocery shopping in Hyderabad. I welcome you. A study on factor influencing online grocery shopping. Yes. Yeah. Good evening, one and all. On the right and on the right, I Rashmi Kedia, student pursuing M.Com from Central College for Women. So the title of the research paper is The Factors Influencing, a study on factors influencing the online grocery shopping in Hyderabad. So the objective is to study the growth and development. Okay, and the next one is to study what are the factors influence the country while purchasing. So the research paper, like the study was the study focus on the primary data and the secondary data. The primary data of structured questionnaire was formed and distributed respondents, and secondary data was collected in journals, research papers. So and the experience software was used to analyze the data, and importantly, test was used to analyze the factors which were affecting the online shopping. So in the findings, it was found that the major of the respondents were female from the age of 18 to 25 years, and the major working professionals who were mostly doing a professional work. Also, people found that the factors was the convenience which provide them, and according to statistical.com, the current market value for the online shopping in the year 2024 it was INR 1,000 billion, and it is expected to grow from 1,170 billion billion. And the suggestion for this is these factors can help business to make their marketing strategies and also the marketing strategies can be good. Thank you.
Can you, do you come across which is the most influencing buying factor, which is the least influencing buying factor?
So, as the study was like mostly there was offer cashback return policies and the quality of the and the consumer, the customer
advanced technique and the specific factors.
Good, Rashmi. You are interested, really. You have done very good job.
And
Very brief presentation and title, but not conclusion and suggestion. Conclusion and suggestion. Not one point. No?
yes,
And you made some hypothesis too.
yes.
Two hypotheses, right? Is it null and alternative or both are null?
No, so the first time,
Hypothesis.
yes, sir. Yes,
That is only one.
two are there, sir.
When you call it, you have to say hypothesis. ES, not IS.
Okay, sir, I will get.
Singular. Okay, small correct.
Thank you, sir.
But you are buddying as a student, you have done very well.
Thank you.
I'm very happy with you. You are interested in academics.
Yeah.
You cannot make your anything. Always for you. I like and love to those who like and love you. Simple. And I like and love to those who like and love you.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Now I request Dr. K. Mallikarjun to give a session of capital.
Good afternoon to all. It's a great privilege to interact with you all. I thanks to Professor Anand Pawar sir, Dean, and sir elevated a very important point. Sir is the Dean. It's the right time to introduce the curriculum part, technological business, technological organization, technological management, everything in your hands, sir. Kindly include us. This is we are in the transition period 4.1 to 4.5. So we are in between. It's the right time to include all whatever change, technical changes. And we cover the traditional business border area. We are very much the students are very excited for talk. And also I find for sir, startup, sir says that area wise, one district, one product, or one district, one innovation. So thank you sir for coming to 37 to Hyderabad and giving your valuable time. And also I got all the representatives for visiting our college and giving the placement the paper. Thank you so much. So now the session is I request faculty members to illustrate this session chair and co-chair. Please jump to them and the other one, please. Jansi ma'am, Jaya ma'am, other department faculty members, Vice ma'am, Varsha ma'am. Now presentation.
Now presentation to our guest, Chairperson Professor Anand Kumar and Co-Chairperson Dr. Bhujan Muchayapur.
You are also there. Okay, you are also another. Thank you. Thank you for the lot.
Now salutation to Co-Chairperson Dr. M. Muchayapur.
మేడం కొందరు ఇటు సైడ్ అండి. మేడం కొందరు ఇటు సైడ్ అండి. స్ప్రెడ్ అవ్వండి.
Now there is a certificate for presenters. Dr. B. Vasudha, St. Anne's College for Women, and Rashmi Tetia, Scholar. Dr. Sunita, Telangana Social Welfare Residential Degree College for Women. Sir,
Is our product. By price.
Amkul Baha, Entrepreneurship, College President. B. Kasturi by GDC CPP. S. Khandya GDC Karatabad. Dr. Achok for GDC Women Jagityal. Dr. Padmakar Sulawati, Avinash Performance Institute. B. Rahul. Thank you, Marino. Thank you, sir, for your presence, sir. Now there will be a technical session, please. I request Sirisha ma'am, Florence ma'am, to take care of the technical session, please. Now we take the technical session 3. So first I request chairperson of this session, from Institute of Public Enterprise, so please come on with the director. So I think we have to. And I request co-chairperson of this session, N. Suresh, Assistant Professor of Commerce from the Institute. Resource person of this technical session 3 government initiative, Vijaya, currently terminating from me. I request ma'am, please come on with the dais. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, guests on the dais, respected faculty members, and my dear students. Welcome to the technical session 3 on government initiatives. Sir, ma'am, we are glad to have you here. We have our chairperson, Dr. M. Chandrasekhar, Associate Professor of Institute of Public Enterprise, CollegeHyd, Hyderabad. It's my honor to introduce sir. He is an esteemed program head of PGDM Banking and Financial Services and Associate Professor of Finance and Accounting at the Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad. With his experience and expertise, he is a respected teacher of accounting and finance courses to PGDM students at IIT. Dr. Shekhar has also delivered valuable training sessions to senior management, and he is also a professional on evaluating using financial models as part of ALP and management development programs. Dr. Shekhar has insightfully fintech, blockchain technology, and startup challenges published in many prestigious and professional journals such as Journal of Management and well-known magazines like India. He is also policy writer, regularly contributes columns to nationwide newspapers, daily, the Express, DNA, China Daily, Sakshi, and Daily Basket. In recognition of his expertise, Dr. Chandrasekhar has also been invited to participate in the live debate on the topic Central Bank and Digital Currency, a new initiative of RBI in ETV Prime Time Program, ETV 3020. This area of specialization in teaching and training in accounting, corporate financial modeling. So, this is centered mainly on empirical research and corporate finance and startups in India. And we are really privileged and honored to have Dr. Chandrasekhar sir as our guest and chairperson. I will welcome sir to please come and share his valuable insights with us. Can you please welcome sir with a round of applause?
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, students. I know it's very odd time, almost like we are right 4:50, 4:30. I can imagine students sitting from the morning listening to various speaker presentations, as well as chairpersons talk, right? And still I can see some audiences left alone. And I'm here to talk about the very relevant of entrepreneurship across the country. In fact, the state government as well as central government is focusing on encouraging youth towards entrepreneurship side rather than the employment side. We believe that so far we believe that we have the notion like if you are an educated and if you are a graduate or if you are a postgraduate, and the ultimate purpose is to work for a company. But for last decade, the orientation is changing. Graduates are setting up companies, postgraduates are setting up companies, even dropouts are also setting up companies. So what I'm trying to say, the whole ecosystem is changed right from in the markets. Government is also encouraging, especially the central government, where they have created something called Startup India. Startup India, an amount of 10,000 crores, and someone has to take a research study in the last 9 to 10 years. Out of the 10,000 crores has been disbursed in setting up various startup companies. But if you see the startups which are happening in the domain of BFSI, especially fintech, at the same time, health sector, and most of us know that how startups have been revolutionized this e-commerce and supply chain distribution and etc. I would like to say that today there are a plethora of resources. There is nothing like funding issues. There is nothing like issues relating to regulation. Government is talking about ease of doing business in India, and they are simplifying all the challenges from you. And they are also giving tax concessions, tax holiday to startup entrepreneurs for 3 years or 5 years. It's based on the sector, it's based on the idea, it's based on the model. So there are so many opportunities. So what I would like to talk here is it's not only entrepreneurship, it is the ethical entrepreneurship what I wanted to emphasize. We should create more and more ethical entrepreneurs. We have seen the several businesses which are getting collapsed, and we have also seen several CEOs have been arrested by various people. Why? Because the ethics part which is missing. So E-cell or edu-cell or innovation cell, whatever we discuss, whatever we said, we should inculcate ethical side of the entrepreneurship and idea generation and incubation, and at the same time, what are the sources of money which are available in the markets? Many public sector banks are also extending their support for seed stage financing. And typically, if you see for a startup company, who are the investors? You may wonder the investors are AAA, we popularly call as family and friends and fools. Then you have angel investors, then you have growth investors. So there is no limit for funding, only thing is what the idea generation is what it is required. So let me go through the papers and let us see what is the value addition with their research, and we will try to learn from their research and we'll take it forward with those papers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and also briefing us about different initiatives on entrepreneurship, startup, and other government initiatives. Thank you, sir. I now call upon Sir M. Suresh, who is an Assistant Professor of Commerce in Kuppetpalli. Sir has 18 years of teaching experience with specialization in finance and corporate law. He is certified in IPR and competition law from IIT Kharagpur with a gold medal. He is also certified in financial management from IIT Bangalore, UGC Net in Commerce as well as Sciences, MBA in Finance from Manga University, MPhil in Development Economics from CIS. Sir is pursuing his PhD in Commerce from Manga University. Working as District Nodal Officer of NIRF, Nature District. Sir N. Naresh is working as a Nodal Officer for Prime Minister Yona Program, Mahbubnagar District. He is also worked as State Resource Person on behalf of CCE, DOT for Net Assessment and ABC. Sir has served as an EC member for Telangana Association and is serving as IQS coordinator at Kuppetpalli from 2018 till now. Sir has worked as NAC coordinator, member board of city, convener of and teacher of one listed in served as a resource person for 2 was connected by Social Welfare Department in Kochi, and other was by Board of Intermediate for the called lecturer. Delhi was most expensive extensive lecturers at various government and university colleges in Telangana as well as Andhra Pradesh. Sir has mastered trainer of district level workshop held on human values and has authored one book on entrepreneurial development and edited on understanding. Sir has contributed more than contributed chapters and published by prestigious institutions and has chaired technical sessions of 5 international seminars and many national conferences. And we are glad to have Sir and the expertise here. We welcome Sir to please address the assembly. Can you please welcome with a round of applause?
Thank you, ma'am, for reminding what I was, what I am. Friends, right from the morning, one wonderful word that I have been listening, which I like is thank you. It equally holds good for me. So, jokes apart, very good afternoon all. So, the session that is advocated to us is to speak something on government policies promoting entrepreneurship in the country. Friends, I'm not really competent to speak in front of ministers like Vijaya Madam from NIMSME, Chandrasekhar sir from IP, but I just like to put forward my observations from the academics because my knowledge is only pedantic, their knowledge is very pragmatic. Obviously, there's some difference. So, friends, when we speak about government policies, you must understand one fact that there is a romantic relation between government policies and political ideologies. Because political ideologies exogenously determine the length and depth of government policies. But fortunately, these political ideologies could not impact negatively the government policies drafted from the beginning of the planning era to support the entrepreneurial growth or entrepreneurial ecosystem in the country. I'll give a few examples to support my hypothesis. See, the first development finance institution that independent India established is not in agriculture sector, not in infrastructure sector, not in housing sector. It is in industrial, that is Industrial Finance Corporation of India, IFCI, in 1948. That is how Government of India has sent very strong signals to the entire world that we are entrepreneurial friendly country. We are taught in the textbooks that in 1956, so-called Nehru-Mahalanovich models, we Indian mixed economic structure towards socialistic pattern. And unfortunately, we were not taught in the books that it was the same year 1956 when Government of India started the concept of industrial estates, that is providing common infrastructure for supporting industries, especially small scale industries. In those days, we used to call them SSAs. So, where is the situation that we slip away from entrepreneurial supporting system? Even when we claim ourselves to be socialistic biased mixed economy, and we started industrial estates into business, that implies that political ideologies could not negatively impact our government policies supporting the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Right? 1964 or 65 was the time when Indian economy was in so much turmoil, 2 successive wars, very severe drought, political instability, and despite all these odds, Government of India incarnated a wonderful organization called IDBA, an apex body, right? So that is how our commitment towards entrepreneurship and promoting entrepreneurial society is witnessed, right? When you see 1978, my dear friends, it was a time when Government of India had one typical commerce minister. You know something? Indian Railways has witnessed a strike only and only once in the span of 174 years. And that strike of workers in railways was under the hegemony of a great socialistic leader, George Fernandez. But when George Fernandez became Commerce Minister in Morarji Desai's government, you know, he undertook a great concept called DIC, District Industrial Center, to provide single window clearance to all entrepreneurial approvals at district level. So my intention of bringing these examples at this rostrum is to communicate with all students that political ideology, irrespective of its nature, has kept on supporting the entrepreneurial growth in the country. And you all know the romance that took place in 89 and 90. One prime minister was there for 9 months, another prime minister was there for 12 months, and one prime minister was assassinated. And even in such situation, we had another apex body called SIDBI, right? Small Industrial Development Bank of India. You all know how they wrought miracles in supporting entrepreneurial finance in this country. Be it IDBI, be it SIDBI, be it IFSI and all, right? And the post-liberalization history you all know, and you have been seamlessly listening from the morning. I need not dwell into it again. But only one government policy that turned policies into a statutory framework has really heralded a hallmark change in 2006. That is MSMED Act. So we have provided statutory protection to all the government policies or state policies to offer for MSMEs through enacting this MSMED Act 2006. And you have been continuously listening from the morning, very enthralling word that is startup system, entrepreneur system, startups, and so on and so forth. Isn't it? So I will ramify the government policies in the post 2014. You may ask the question, why 2014, sir? Because the present government also office in 2014. So 4 pillars it has advocated in order to support entrepreneurial growth. One is startups. Second is mudras, then mudra loan, I'm sorry. Third is, of course, MSME schemes. Fourth is your entrepreneurial culture, like that is Make in India culture. So let us take up the first one, Startup India. Friends, I just want to put forward the flip side of the policy, so that one of you can take up it as a researchable topic. If you see startups, we have one constraint in that a startup entity should be a private limited or a limited liability partnership. My question is, why not we allow public limited company also to act as a startup? You ask the question, why, sir? What is the benefit of allowing a public limited company as a startup entity? See, startups need support of angel entrepreneurs or angel investors. So after 5 years or 6 years of tenure, once the startup turns into a profit, an angel investor or a venture capitalist who invested money want to exit. So exit strategies can be very adroitly designed if it is a public limited company. For example, an angel investor investing in like what is called Flipkart. You all know when Flipkart started Myntra, Ajit Premji invested money in it. And Urban Ladder came, Urban Tata became an angel investor. So when they turned into profits, they wanted to exit. And if these startups are public limited companies, exit strategies can be designed in the form of management buyouts or IPOs. That feasibility will be there in public limited companies. But unfortunately, the present startup ecosystem in this country does not have the facility. I urge all the delegates to think on it, contemplate on it as a researchable topic and submit your papers to government to this seminar ceremony. Second is Mudra. So many delegates have presented their papers on Mudra and all, isn't it? What is this Mudra scheme is all about? Providing collateral-free loans to micro entrepreneurs, right? Government recently made a claim that within the span of 9 years, we have provided collateral-free loans worth of 23 lakh crores. Amazing, right? 23 trillion rupees. But the grim fact, rather the gruesome fact is that, my dear friends, the reality is itself from the claim made by government. Can any of you obtain a collateral-free loan from bank really? I don't think so. It is that easy unless you have some influence from supporting agencies, like names me or NSS. So the problem of collaterals is still lingering in Mudra environs, which must also be taken as a researchable topic, my dear friends. Especially the new definition of MSMEs, right? So it speaks about 1.5 crores of investment and turnover for micro industries, 10 crores and 50 crores for small scale, 50 crores and 250 crores for the medium enterprises. But what is the logic behind this definition? During COVID, the stimulus package has been announced by the state, under which these enhancements were announced. But I don't know what is the rationale behind this multiples of 5. Did they consider inflation factors to enhance this? Did they consider the average investment levels or average investments made in all industries to redefine this investment level and turnover level? Nothing. Simply the fancy figures have come out. You may ask a question, sir, what is your problem? My problem is now a micro enterprise having 1 lakh turnover and a micro enterprise having 4.99 crore turnover stands in the same bandwidth. They both are called as micro enterprises. So when my business is 1 lakh rupees and your business is 5 crore rupees, we both are micro entrepreneurs. We both go to banker for a loan. Who will have edge? Who will have advantage? Obviously, one having 4.99 crores turnover, isn't it? So banks are left with no option but to meet their priority sector obligations. 7.5% of their ABC must be lent to micro enterprises. So they will give loans to 4.99 crore customer, but not to me, who is having 1 lakh rupees of turnover, a small tea shop, a small sugarcane shop, a small grocery shop. I won't be getting loans. I will lose them there. So that is the problem which must be. Next is on the service sector. Still, service sector definition we are considering that of MSME Act 2006. But earlier definitions had different parameters for defining service sector and professional sector. Now, 3 categories: micro, medium, and small enterprises. But now it is conglomerated together. Now the question is, service sector units will hardly have any tangible property, right? They don't have any plant, they don't have any machinery. So what type of collateral security they will bring? So are they really getting mudra loans? I don't know. So you must research on this. These are the things. But ultimately, I wish to propose that entrepreneurial culture, entrepreneurial recycling are more important than government policies. I went to Gujarat some time ago, a place called Kevadia, which is now very famous for Statue of Unity, right? Sardar Patel's statue. But when I went there, the statue was not there. But I went there to see a small group of women manufacturing pressure cookers. Right? You forget about Christine pressure cooker, Preeti pressure cooker, Maiden pressure cooker, and all. A group of women manufacturing cookers and mixers in a village called Kevadia in Gujarat. So I asked to them, government's policy supporting. They said, Sarji, I'm going to name on the We are only bothered about our customers, not about the government. That is the entrepreneurial culture you need to ingrain among the stakeholders. Second and final one is, of course, my dear friends, any government policy should support entrepreneurial recycling. It may sound novel word to you, but what is entrepreneurial recycling? I will tell you. A successful entrepreneur gives back something to society, gives back something to entrepreneurial system as a whole. Like he may become an independent director and guide entrepreneurs like you all. He may become an angel investor and invest in your budding enterprises. That is how entrepreneurial takes place. But government is giving tax concessions to startups. Why not to angel investors? Why not to venture capitalists who promote themselves into this entrepreneurial recycling process? That is required in the government policies. Unfortunately, I could not witness it in my literature review. Right? Sorry if I bored you. I just wanted to share my opinions. At the outset, I thank City College for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights about government policies and political ideology. Sir has also taken us about micro agencies, micro, small and medium enterprises and other government initiatives. Hope the session was, hope you all took few inputs from the session. And thank you so much, sir. I am indeed delighted to introduce Dr. E. Vijaya, a faculty member at the National Institute of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, and esteemed organization under the Ministry of MSME, Government of India. Dr. Vijaya is our present today, and she has an interesting range of expertise that includes financial management, SME finance, taxation, project appraisal, international finance management, SME, and entrepreneurship development. Ma'am has already authored and 21 papers in national and international journals and presented 18 papers in national and international journals and conferences. Dr. Vijaya has organized conferences and she is an executive development program in the area of finance, accounting, taxation, and conducted over 100 awareness workshops on entrepreneurial awareness, MSME scheme, GST, and public procurement policies as well. And Dr. E. Vijaya currently serves as the program director for National SC program at NIMSE, sponsored by the Ministry of Government of India. Dr. Vijaya has several national and international training programs, including a 15-day international training program in Jakarta and Indonesia. Her additional roles as NIMS Chief Administrative Officer and currently she's serving as an in charge for Entrepreneurship Development Cell and GST Cell at National Institute of Micro, Medium and Small Enterprise. Please join me. Please welcome her.
Good evening to one and all, respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and all the participants for this two-day national seminar on entrepreneurship and startups. And I would like to thank the management of the Government City College for inviting me for this conference, which is very suitable for organization of your law about for electricity. We have looked at this college many times in the last year to make people awareness about the schemes of the government and what are the benefits we are getting as a failure. Okay, and also in creating awareness about the capacity building programs conducted by the ministry. And today's technical session on the government initiative for the entrepreneurs and startup. And hopefully we are at the end of the program by seeing the interest of the participants. I just want to share a few words and later we can continue with the presentation so that we can know more about it, what is there about the government initiatives. See, as a government officer and as a involved in the promotion and development of micro, small and medium enterprises, government is giving many opportunities and is coming up with many schemes, okay, and many policy measures to support the promotion of the micro, small and medium enterprises. Why? Because we all the MSME sector, so it is the backbone of any country's economy. If you are seeing about the Indian economy, this is a sector which is generating more than 40% of the exports. Because the country is having more exports, it is generating more foreign reserves. And it is generating more than 170 million employment opportunities and contributing more than 30% of the country's GDP. That's why we can call it a vibrant sector as the MSME sector. But you are saying about this COVID pandemic scenario, this is a sector has been hit harshly by because of the particular situation. The government has come up with various policy reforms to support the MSME. Okay, have you heard about Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan reform? the government has introduced to support the industry. Wherein 20 lakhs to package the government has announced, wherein 6 lakhs to package the government has given for the sustaining and growth of. So that is what the priority the government has been giving for the micro, small and medium enterprises. When you are saying about the micro enterprises, majority of the enterprises in the rural areas, so they were having a passion to start their own enterprise, but they are facing the problems towards access to finance, access to technology, marketing the product, okay, and also how to reach out to the industry and also how to reach the markets. So keeping in view of that perspective, only the government has introduced many schemes. Already institutions have given you information regarding about the Mudra scheme, where the enterprise can get financial assistance up to 10 lakhs without any collateral. See, if you want to go for a bank getting a loan, banker will see whether the collateral is sufficiently to meet the financial requirement. But under Mudra scheme, you can get a loan up to 10 lakhs without any collateral. And if you want to go for manufacturing enterprises where your investment will be little bit small, so you can have another scheme like Startup India, Stand-up India scheme, okay, and also we are having CGD MSC scheme, wherein the entrepreneur will get nearly 2 crores of financial assistance, but that is for the existing entrepreneur. See, the government is giving many opportunities for the entrepreneurs, but it is the wish of the entrepreneurs to they have to take up the entrepreneurial activity. And you all know recently our government of India has launched a new scheme of RAMP, Resilient Accelerating the MSME Performance. The RAMP scheme is mainly to support MSME to improve the performance. Because as I'm saying that a lot of research scope is there in the area of MSME. Because the major problems MSMEs are facing with regard to access to finance. Because if you're doing the many studies, majority of the MSMEs they are not approaching the bank for the loans. They are going up getting a finance in informal way. Okay, so that is mainly because of lack of awareness, formalities, but whatever the formalities are, they are unable to get all the formalities and they are not able to pay the bank requirements. In such a case, they are paying a huge rate of interest in continuing their business operations. Okay, so to support the MSMEs and to give them more priority for the lending loans, the government is introducing this grant scheme, wherein the government is focusing mainly on credit rating of micro small enterprises. Because majority of the former students has known about the credit rating that are applicable to the small and medium enterprises and the lot of the finances. It's very difficult for the micro enterprise. Now our government is basically, our ministry is basically focusing on how to apply the credit rating for the micro enterprises to find out the credit worthiness. Because instead of financial, because if startup if I'm asking, if you are approaching for a Mudra loan, it will ask you financial statements. You will simply say that I'm starting a business right now, I don't have any financial statement. Then how can you find out your financial viability? By seeing your CIBIL score, your personal strength, your personal financial strength. So keeping in other factors, they want to introduce rating for the micro enterprise also so that it will get support from the banks. So that's what the government has been come up with various. One thing I want to add is like a public procurement policy, wherein all the public sector undertakings like PSUs, government and central and state government ministries, whatever is their annual procurement, like whatever is the annual purchase, wherein 25% of purchase they have to done it from the public procurement portal, that is from the MSME sector. That means I'm from the Ministry of MSME. If I'm saying my procurement requirement is this much of items like laptops, whatever the stationery, whatever it is there, then 25% compulsory I have to procure through government procurement portal, like a GEM portal, government e-marketplace, and also central public procurement portal. And out of 25% of MSMEs, 4% compulsory they have to procure from the SC entrepreneurs. And 3% they have to procure from the women entrepreneurs. How many people are having an awareness about this public procurement portal? See, for example, if you are seeing about, I'm a manufacturer of healthcare products. Okay, if I want to participate in the government agency, it's very difficult for me to reach the government. But if I am registered myself in this government procurement portals, like a GEM portal and CPP portal, I can also compete with other competitors in the market by making my product at a very less price. And my office is in Hyderabad. I can procure the product from Delhi, the MSME who is offering it in the price. Why it is happening? Because to support the MSME. Is it clear? I'm manufacturing the product, but I'm facing the problem with promoting the product to the various markets. And you know, we are having another institutions like a National Small Industry Corporation, NSIC. We are supporting for making you to participate in the exhibitions in the national and international markets. See, we all know about Dubai Expo, where there was the exhibitions of various products and new manufacturing and innovative ideas. If you are registered with the NSIC, you can get a free of cost. You can have it airfare. Okay, you can have all facilities to participate in the international exhibitions that will take place in the various countries. Like we are having many institutions under the Ministry of MSME, like our National Institute for MSME. We are involved with training research and consultancy and other institutions like a National Small Industry Corporations and various technology centers. Okay, so all centers are there, institutions are there to support the MSME. But it is the role of the entrepreneurs, like the youth people, to take up the entrepreneurial activity. So then only the government motto of Make in India will be possible. Everyone we know about the role of Make in India. Make India as a manufacturing hub. Who will make India should be the manufacturing hub, like you people. If you take an entrepreneurial activity and if you create employment opportunity in the country, so that definitely will lead to meeting the objective of Make in India. Okay, so many initiatives the government is taking towards creating entrepreneurial products. So we just want to know also from the presenters that what they want proceeding, and we are also giving some suggestions regarding where they can focus more on those so that they can get best research opportunities in the area of the MSME sector. So thank you once again for giving me the opportunity and thank you for listening. So thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for taking us around different and also letting us know about the Mudra scheme and the loans, which is indeed helpful for all the budget entrepreneurs and also the entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we have the faculty members in our presenter. I request D. Bhavani, faculty member from Vilamedi College, to please come and present the topic.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, respected and dear students. I'm Bhavani from Vilamedi Degree College, Government. And the topic which I selected for my paper presentation is the sources of finance which is available to the startups, and also that, as we all know, challenges which is faced by the while getting this finance. So the sources of finance is, as you all know, the first is personal investment, which has to be done by entrepreneur. Apart from that, we can take the funds from his family and friends. And we have financial institutions as delivered by the dignitaries about the government initiatives. Banks are there which are providing loans. And we are aware of angel investors who are very much available, keenly interested to do the funding for the startup business. Then seed funding. The name itself states that it's a seed. It's the initial seed where investors are available for funding the startups. Then crowdfunding. This is recently very good funding which is available for the small startup business. Okay, where we can approach the crowd platforms where the funding is available. So, and this is the first part of the first objective of my paper. Coming to the second part, that is the challenges which are faced. Actually, my session will be in the second slot. I don't think it makes some sense because already delivered by the dignitaries about the government initiatives what they are taking to help or support the entrepreneurs. So the challenges which I want to mention is, it's really good, ma'am. I've taken a lot of information regarding the government initiatives. So many schemes are there available even for government entrepreneurs. So one thing I want to make it from my end, I want to suggest that there is lack of unawareness among people. They're not aware what schemes are available, what policies are available. So I would like to suggest government has to take some measures. They need to come up with some
kind of creating awareness among the individuals, especially youth. So what facilities they are providing, what schemes they are implementing, that should be known to each and every individual who are really want to become an entrepreneur. And as I said, I would like to conclude. This is the paper which I want to present. Thank you, one and all. So much, ma'am, for the understanding. I request Priyanki from the college education. And please take the back. Good evening, everyone. This is Anjali, Assistant Professor from Vilamati Degree College. My topic is government initiative. It is a study of a startup. So my main objective of the study is to give information about few government initiatives which are available for you. So basically, what happens? Why government is coming up with various schemes is the mindset of the youth is nowadays changing from job seeking to job giving. There comes the role of government to many initiatives, coming up with many schemes and initiatives. So there are various schemes, as you all know, the Indian Startup Scheme, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Venture Capital Assistance Scheme, MSME Scheme, and Stand Up India Scheme. So all schemes come up with different motives. Like in one scheme, all the needs of the youth cannot be satisfied. So every scheme has as well as disadvantages. So based on your needs and requirement, you can choose any of the schemes. So coming to Startup India scheme, here what happens? You only of paying the tax for 30 years. As you start the business now, for 3 years there is no need of paying the tax, and the processing fees also less, and easily you can get the registration process done. So there are few advantages for the Indian startups. As of now, government has given 400 crores. Money has been sanctioned for Indian startup scheme. From that, guys, by the Startup India scheme, this is the report, Economic Survey report, 31st December 2022. Coming to Venture Capital Assistance Scheme, this is a scheme mostly available for agriculture sector. The people who are interested to get into the agriculture sector field or want to do business agriculture sector field, they may opt for this venture capital scheme. This is purely for the agriculture sector scheme. Coming to the Stand Up India scheme, here 75% of the amount or the capital is being provided by the venture capitalists, and the remaining 25% will be by the owner. So based on this, there are many other initiatives which are being provided by the government. So I can conclude that it depends on the people, their requirement and their needs. They have to go for the government scheme. They have to do the proper government scheme and properly utilize the scheme. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon Mr. Rahul from Osmania University. I will call upon.
Very good afternoon. I know Indian is about to ask. So I have also lost the patient so I don't take much time to introduce. And my name is from starting fintech giant, then journey of Paytm in India. So the topic, the title is described by objectives of evolution of the Paytm and innovation introduced by the Paytm. So what is innovation? Why innovations are made in any particular field? Have you ever heard about the sachet revolution? Can anybody? Sachet revolution. Have you ever heard this word? Yes. You will get the any product in the sachet, like shampoo, oil, like this, no? So it is a basic idea which is got from Mr. Chinni Krishna's mind. So that is the initiative which has been created in India about sachet releasing our products in sachet in the market, right? So do you know the chick shampoo? Still it is in the market and competing shampoo brand, right? So the chick shampoo itself, it's named as Chini Krishnan. It is a short name of Chini Krishnan. And it is founded by the one of the younger sons of this Chini Krishnan only. So this is the importance of any particular industry to grow as a fintech giant or to grow as a giant in any particular industry, right? Now my topic is about particular Paytm. Why to study about Paytm only? In my perception, a company which is established as a mobile recharge platform and establishing as its own payment bank within span of 13 years. This is a great achievement, right? So, to study about Paytm, it gives me an enthusiasm to study about Paytm topic. And have you ever heard things from 13 years Paytm? Okay. From this paper, we can conclude that we can give the suggestion to the startup. Every startup to focus on innovating new ideas so that it can survive in this competitive world and so that it can meet the evolving needs of the customer. This can be an output of this research paper. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
So, the Paytm is a case study or a paper?
So, it is like paper which discuss about the innovations introduced in the Paytm and how to evolve throughout the secondary. Sir,
How did you get the data?
from the secondary data, from annual reports of the company, and from various journals and articles I got them.
How many years of data use?
Actually, I have used no analytical, this is a descriptive paper, no analytical data has been disclosed in this paper. This just the paper describes the importance of innovation to any startup which wants to enter into the fintech industry. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. I now call upon Sri Mohan Narayana, College Devara, to come and present the information.
First of all, a very good evening to everyone who connected here, especially with the digital present on the stage. My topic is all about, I titled my role of financial institutions in promotion of entrepreneurship in India. While selecting this title, I have referred so many journals and articles in the internet, and I collected a lot of secondary data about it. All the authors who written this articles focused on the various roles performed by the very big financial institutions like SIDBI, NABARD, and IDBA, etc., where they perform their activities in order to boost the economy. Firstly, entrepreneurship is very important in our country because the population population in the world and which has 1/6 of the world population. So it is very difficult even to the government to provide the job to everyone. So in order to that, the young people has to be a job find job providers rather than being job seekers. So that's what I want to promote. So for that, for very big institutions or very big companies, there are a lot of people who will engage in many activities. They will provide many services and all. But for the small scale and for the mini industry, for the entrepreneurs, they are on the starting stage. They are not in a stage to fulfill all the financial requirements. So in this case, the financial institutions play a major role. So there are different roles like statutory, banking, insurance, capital formation, capital restructuring, wealth management, investment advisory, tax consulting, brokerage services, financing, etc. In shortly, we can say that financial institutions act as a government agent in order to boost up the economy. Many people think that the main purpose of the bank or the financial institutions is just lending the money. If it is recognized, they used to lend the money with the capital and also by accessing the deposit. If it is unrecognized or not in a position, not unregistered, it is unregistered. It will not in a position to accept the deposit and take the capital. So this is the framing which we actually use it to listen from everyone. But there are various services like insurance services given to the business to stop loss, and capital formation. Like even banks will accept the shares deposited by their customers
customers, and they will also restructure the capital after incubation period. If the capital is burdened by the interest rate and all, the bank will reconstruct by issuing the new shares or delegate or dilute the debt purposes and all. And also it will use the investment advisory and cost of consultancy and brokerage services and financial. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Now I call upon Sri Abhishek Rao, KBN College, Vijayawada, to present the paper on innovation and entrepreneurship.
Good evening, very good friends. My name is Sri Abhishek. I am from KBN College, MBA department. Today I would like to tell about innovation and entrepreneurship. As we all know, I heard about my entrepreneur innovation. So I am directly going into the innovation and entrepreneurship. In innovation and entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur have to do something in their innovative way which they help the customer. In that way, the innovation plays a key role in the entrepreneurship because an entrepreneur can easily enter into the enterprise and he can able to just start a business, but he can able to not survive for a long period of time without having the innovation. This innovation concept is the place that is available because if you take the example, this point and two sides, that is 8 and 8 in the same way that the enterprise will have both sides, that is innovation and entrepreneurship. If both is there, then the entrepreneur can able to survive for a long time. So finally, I can conclude that without having the innovation, the entrepreneur can't survive in the enterprise for a long time. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much. And I now call upon Samuna, KBN College, to present the paper. On behalf of Yamuna, we have presenting the paper from KBN College, Vijayawada.
Good evening, my name is Harshadeva. I am trained from Vijayawada, KBN College. Now, my topic is green entrepreneurship, sustainable development in India. Green entrepreneurship is exclusive component of entrepreneurship that deals with creation and implementation of innovation. Environmental problems to promote practice. In this, green entrepreneurship is the business enterprise of actively addressing environmental problem and need through a financially sustainable business plan as positive impact on the environment, community, and economy. The green market is an emerging market with the ample changes in every place, such as green design, green supply, and green production, and many more. In this, when the natural resources are limited, the population is very high. So in these components are problems while generating the profits and minimizing the populations. The products or services more environmental friendly. In this sustainable products, the import and green consumption, eco-friendly, EV, green car industry in this circle. In this conclusion of report and Walton 2010 expresses that green entrepreneurship is like new business instead of a subset of entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivaya. Now I call upon Payal Priyadarshini Das and Sandy Kamala, Assistant Professor, Government College. Yeah. Now I call upon five years of teaching class from Government Degree College, General Day. Come on to the dais. Good evening, everyone. I thought it would be good afternoon, but it's late. So, good evening. Good evening on the dais and off the dais. I am Rashmi Das from Devasi Women's College. And today I have to present the paper on the recent trends in online banking and more series upon online bill payment, that is UPI payment. So it is joint paper of mine, and I am Rashmi Das, currently my BE in journalism, and also joint paper with my Kamala ma'am, who is a professor of political science. So coming to our topic, recent trends in banking and online and UPI payment. So, UPI payment will be all having idea that is the full form is Unified Payment Interface. So, it is becoming very popular and mostly done by third party, that is OCP and Google. Has its own accessibility with more benefits to us. Like there, in any case, you will be able to do that, and it is very popular mostly in India too. So, because have to know on online net banking system to obtain knowledge and information about online payment system, which is more flexible. When we will be having like Western countries or any other countries, will be when have cyber, we'll be having hello. So they'll be having they don't want any private information or any privacy. Not mattering upon completely upon UPI and transaction facilities. So our hypothesis is that in future systems have features and we feel that it is more creative and flexible. So it has advanced features also, and it will be in a new form. Our hypothesis that my research methodology is completely on primary data and secondary data. Primary data in sense we have shown primary data through observation. Knowledge, keen knowledge and keen observation about UPI, and secondary data which means secondary data through website, Google. So we're not taking much time. So I would like to conclude that as UPI payment, most UPI payments and online payment because it is becoming famous because of its flexibility, there should be more improvement in it, and over 24 by payment system, and India has over 150 million digital POS terminals, that is QR code. So it is large and we get underdeveloped country because it or developing country. So you will facilitate access of digital payments through card, e-money, and UPI. So last conclusion, there are so many opportunities in this country. So there should be by the government of India and people also this is the upgradation of technology and which play a vital role in economic development. The current trends in banking is economy, so there are huge challenges. Knowledge will keep evolving. So as our country is also motivated to become digitally literate. So if we'll be having digitally literate people in the society, there will be strategy to bridge the gap of technology in rural banks and other. So by this conclusion, thank you for giving this opportunity. It is my indeed privilege to call upon Dr. Tisha, Associate Professor of Commerce, esteemed faculty member, special faculty. For giving me this opportunity, I thank our citizenship sir for giving me the light about the government initiatives available for the startup, and also I thank Naresh sir for giving me giving the students about the knowledge of political ideology, what is the impact on government initiative, and the madam given the information regarding all the schemes available with the government. So all of you must take a step as a startup entrepreneur And with the information, opportunities, whatever are available, you have to take into consideration, and also you have the constraints that also have to be taken into consideration. So with all this, I thank one and all. Thank you. So much of information for all our students and colleagues. Thank you. Thank you, felicitate our guests. So I request Dr. Jansi Rani ma'am, the next program, Dr. Mallikarjun sir, Daya ma'am, Dr. Sirisha ma'am, and other esteemed faculty members. Please come and join us. Chairperson, resources, and Station to Dr. Now I request the chairperson to consider the chairperson, Dr. M. Chandrasekhar sir, Associate Professor, Institute of Public Enterprise. Next, I request the co-chairperson to this is Patani. I invite the fourth person, Dr. Vijay, faculty member of NIMSM, MSME, Hyderabad. Co-chairperson, N. Suresh sir, Assistant Professor of Commerce, DDP.
This is class, right?
Certificates to be presented. D. Bhavani, Villamari Degree College. P. Anjali, Villamari Degree College. P. Rahul, scholar from Uthmaniyya University. P. Mohan Venkata, Sriman Narayana, ABN College, Vijayawada. P. Abhishek Rao, ABN College, Vijayawada. G. Yamuna. Shivaya, through Shivaya, presented the paper, ABN College, Vijayawada. Payal Priyadarshini Das, Government Degree College for Women, Begumpet. R. Vaishnavi, DPP Secretary. Dr. V.V. Subbarao, Nagarjuna Government Degree College, Nalgonda. So, all the students, please come ahead. We will have a photo video. All the students. Also, please comments. The leaders as well as the students, please comment.
నిషేధం విశేషణ అయిపోయింది